I just got to the silent retreat and I am excited and also a little anxious. So, for the next 2 weeks, I'll be totally off the grid. Zero talking, writing, reading, communication, eye contact with other humans, no social media, totally off the grid. I've never done this for this long, but I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm open minded, right? So, mentally, I've been preparing for this and I have zero expectations. So, we're going to take this step by step, see where it goes, and I hope to survive the next 2 weeks without any contact.
Wow. I just completed my silence retreat and I'm just processing on everything that happened over the past 2 weeks. It's even weird to hear my voice not talking for this long, but it's been the longest I've been without communicating with anyone. The internet, social media, caffeine, feels surreal. Even turning my phone on, it's like the glare of the light and the radiation is really affecting me. But wow, it was one of the best experiences of my life and definitely very challenging. The first 3 days were painfully brutal, especially realizing how addicted we are to stimulations, caffeine, dopamine with social media, and just having things that are always competing for our attention. After that, things just started to get better, because the premise of it was going in and taking a vow of noble silence with a group of strangers and not really getting to know anyone, just pretty much being with them for close to 2 weeks in pure silence, sitting in a room for 10 to 12 hours a day. And initially you feel very uncomfortable and it's very boring and it's very strange because you're reaching for your phone, you're trying to quickly focus your attention on other things and your mind is so distracted. I had a tornado of thoughts coming up about my past, anxiety about the future. Is this a big waste of time? I have a business. I should be out there, marketing, selling, helping people, serving. And it was so hard just to stay still, and normally I can't just sit down for 10 to 12 hours a day for close to 2 weeks and do nothing. But within the third day, I felt a magic shift. I felt really just peaceful and content. It was almost as if time stopped and I became very present to the moment. My mind also stopped. It really slowed down. I stopped thinking about the past or the future. It's like every sense was totally engulfed in the present moment. And I became so sensitive to slight alterations, sensations in my body, in my breath, even thoughts, negative thoughts would come up and it's not serving me. It's not happening right now. And I would just let it go and it went away. And I realized everything in life is transient, right? We've all heard the quote, "This too shall pass." Bad, tragic, horrible situation, horrible feeling, this too shall pass. Just stay patient. It'll go away. High, euphoria, happiness, joy. Enjoy it, but this too shall pass. Don't get so attached to it because I find our mind is so focused on being attached to things, right? External things that we feel are going to make us happy or trying to avert from other things, right? Aversion. I don't want this to happen. I don't want to feel this way. I'm tired right now. I'm sick. All these negative things that we don't want. At the same time, I've come to realize that we create everything from the inside out. Because the one thing that is stable is now, this present moment, as you watch this video. But everything outside of this, we create. Our thoughts, our words, and our actions are creating what happens on the outside. And our perception is so powerful. Perception is everything. So how we perceive a situation is going to be completely different by our thought in the moment. And I kept on meditating deeply and deeply on this. And I found myself in a state of love and presence and understanding. And I saw my whole life and business very differently. And after a few days, I just felt really good, really peaceful, really happy. My heart just opened up, full of love, full of gratitude. And I would honestly say that this silence retreat was one of the best experiences of my life. And I've done a lot of different experiences and Tony Robbins seminars and landmark and different ceremonies and traveled to different parts of the world. But I can honestly say that this had the biggest impact on me, not just throughout the entire experience, but I could feel it's going to give me long lasting shifts. In fact, I'm going to do this more often, at least once a year, to get off the grid and to get a hard reset, to detoxify my mind and body and my soul to be back into the present moment. And I highly recommend this, especially if you're a entrepreneur, right? I own a business called Online Super Coach, and we get so caught up in just grinding and trying to stay productive and doing, but this is all about just being in the moment and just being on one with yourself and fully loving yourself and accepting yourself and resetting everything, right? I feel like a kid again. It's like a hard reset. My mind is full of creativity and curiosity, and I just feel such high energy and such certainty and so much joy about the future. And I'm excited to implement all of my new ideas. One thing we couldn't do is write. So my mind turned into a file cabinet. I was compartmentalizing a lot of different ideas and different visions that I have with my business. And I just had a chance to write everything down and got pages and pages of notes and creativity that I would have never gotten if I was just grinding and working. It's that old adage, take one step back to take 3 steps forward. So if you're thinking about doing a silence retreat, I put the link in the comments. I highly, highly recommend it. Even if you do a 3-day one or a 5-day one, a 2-week one is very, very challenging. However, I'm an extreme guy. I'm all or nothing. And it was one of the best things that I ever did. And it's really just getting in touch with your inner wisdom, right? The whole practice is pure science. You're sitting in silence and listening to your inner voice. And the quieter you become, the more you could hear. So whether you go to the extreme of doing a silence retreat or you decide to take some time out, go to a cabin or a hotel and turn off your phone and get off the matrix, just listen to your inner wisdom. It has so much to tell you.